Collective, welcome. I'm Nikki, your local vegan tarotist, and we're going to do a quick check-in. This is going to be a quick check-in, because I got a lot of stuff to do. And you could be planning some sort of move, or you could be, looking for some type of work or launching something new in your own life, and that could be bringing you closer to, putting you on the path of meeting your counterpart. So this reading is going to be for those of you who haven't met your counterpart or don't know if you've met your counterpart. So there's going to be signs in here, confirmations of how you guys meet possibly, characteristics of this person. We'll start with the feminine, because the feminine leads the connection in the 5D. They attract the masculine to them. There's always this draw to each other in the 5D. And then the masculines pursue the feminine in the 3D. So they see them. And so oftentimes the feminine, Two of Cups, Eight of Cups, a lot of times the feminine won't necessarily recognize them in the 3D because they are of the 5D. So for feminines, it's going to be how you feel with this person, right? The masculine is going to know by very tangible physical things, or maybe not tangible because it's of the 5 senses, right? So you can't touch, smell, or touch sound, but they're going to know, the masculine's going to know by the way that this feminine speaks, the way that they smell, their pheromones, or maybe there's like a particular, I'm getting that scene from Harry Potter, where it's like they smell the love or whatever. It's funny because it's like there's that fine line between like love and death. So maybe your Venus placement, or maybe you have a Scorpio placement, that's factoring into this, you or your person. But yeah, it's this sort of, when Hermione smells it, she smells the toothpaste, she smells things in the Weasley's house, things that have to do with Ron. Maybe the name Ron, or I'm getting Roy. That's too many. The Queen of Pentacles. You guys, thank you all so much for your patience and your support. Like I have said and continue to say, I am on this journey with you. So I'm struggling right through it. I feel the connection. I feel when it waxes and wanes. The moon is indicative of, not indicative, the moon is linked to the feminine energy. So anyway, you could be revamping your look or your space. I'm getting like redecorating, or what's that, like a makeover madness. She's all that. Maybe somebody's name is Fred or Freddie or Frank. I don't remember what her name is, but I think it's something like very dorky, isn't it? Like Polly or something like that. Not to say that if your name was Polly that it's dorky, but I just get that kind of like Pollyanna sort of thing, like Grease, where she has, Sandy. It's something, maybe something with like that E sound on the end on the feminine. Anyway, for the feminine, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, which we had that Queen of Pentacles at the top of that big stack. So this is a feminine who is receiving, could be the year of the dragon, could be receiving a very solid offer. And this is something you've dreamed about. This is something you've worked for. I feel like your work is linked to meeting this person, that you will come into connection with each other when you start to pursue something, a project or a career. It's your divine purpose. It's like once you start to pursue that, And I'm getting, keep bleeding, keep bleeding love. This might start as like a friends with benefits thing. Because I do get someone who's been kind of doing this work all on their own with the Knight of Wands here as well, Sagittarius energy. I do get that there might be, this might be passion based to begin with, and then it is going to turn into something, you know, because it's like this fire breathing dragon is actually very mutable. I get like a magician energy with this because they fly, they're on the ground. Dragons, well, some of them swim, depending on the type of dragon that we're talking about. Maybe you are kind of a geek and you really, I just started this movie, Mr. Right, with Anna Kendrick and Sam, not Wilson. Isn't he one of the Wilson brothers though, or he looks like he should be? Sam, oh, I just looked it up. Crap. I think they're both, well, he's a Scorpio. I don't know what Anna Kendrick is, but I think he's a Scorpio. And we do have the death card here. Excuse me for Scorpio. Somebody's getting choked up here. But I didn't finish the movie, but she started, oftentimes it takes me, you know, days to finish a movie because I'll watch a little bit at a time or whatever. But it depends on the movie, how captivated or if I'm doing other things. But y'all know I reference a lot of movies and I watch a lot of movies. I always have. Not shows though. Someone could be into Game of Thrones, someone could be into like medieval, as far as maybe like cosplay or LARPing, somebody could really be into that. I'm not gonna put any shade on anyone like that because you guys know me in Lord of the Rings and you know, like but I feel like this person could like really know a lot about whatever they're dorky about. There's something, you know, like if they like Lord of the Rings, they love Lord of the Rings. Harry Potter, they love Harry Potter. Maybe they've read all the books. Maybe they can speak the languages. Maybe someone speaks Parseltongue, or somebody speaks Elvish or something like that. Or, you know, it's like there's something very, very like, when this person goes into something, which is fixed sign energy, it's like they go all the way in. And that's how this person operates in relationships and everything. It is that fixed energy. It's all in or all out. So when they like something or when they're interested in something, like your person, when you're interested in them or when they are interested in somebody, you both could be quite similar in this aspect. Like you are in it and you want to know everything about that. And you want to like dive into the whole world of it, the history of it and the nuances of it. It's like this person is a very, I just got intrusive. I don't feel like they're intrusive, but maybe this feminine with this sort of dragon here that's guarded, they're kind of guarding their value. And see how that star is in reverse? It's almost like there's a fear possibly that if I get into this is very intense or whatever. They're kind of guarding their heart space because they've done a lot of healing, this feminine, because they've done a lot of moon healing. Well, today is February 17th, so it is the Lunar New Year. That could be someone's birthday, or maybe you're an Aquarius or have the strong placements, but Aquarius is the Fool, all right? And the star. We have the star in reverse. So there is a little bit of fear here. Because see, this is like keep bleeding love. I keep bleeding love. This is a very romantic person. With that medieval aspect and kind of like being dorky, there's a romance to that. There's a romance to somebody who gets so invested in something or feels very passionate about something. And that is, maybe you're like writing a screenplay or a novel or something, because I am getting someone who's kind of like a bookie nerd, you know, bookworm. And I don't know, like I'm kind of challenged with my lisp right now, so somebody could have a lisp. We'll see. Let's see on the masculine side. Tell me a little bit about this masculine. Eight of Swords. the Devil and the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles in that. And see, I get like a blacksmith or somebody. Somebody could be 1010. Someone could be in welding or shop work of some kind. Like, could be automotive, could be anything, but it's, you know, the horse representing the Lunar New Year, or the year of the horse, is like the Chariot. So this is someone who's, this is, I don't want to say relentless, and that could be why it's like this person's relentless. This person is intrusive. This feminine could be reading this masculine as like, ugh, they won't leave me alone. No, they're not going to leave you alone, because they know, this masculine knows that you are that you are their person. But the feminine could be like, oh gosh. Four of Wands and the High Priestess. And the Queen of Wands. Yeah, this feminine is so into, you know, this is, Queen of Wands is like the witch, and then we have the High Priestess. So this is someone who's very much into magic. You could play those cards, Magic, that game, Magic, or, whoa. Oh, I thought that was a hawk. Because the way I think it's a big raven, but the way that it sort of turned, the sun hit it and it looked golden, like a golden eagle. Yeah, Taurus energy, the name, Steven. I was gonna say Cold Stone Creamery, or like ice cream, and this Knight of Cups. It's like maybe this person's gonna take you out to ice cream. I feel like you're gonna have a very cute first date, or you might have like a meet cute or something like that. Something that feels straight out of a movie. Yeah, Five of Cups. This person might have, and the Queen of Cups. There's a lot of romance here. We've got Leo energy. The sun is in between the 10 of Cups and the 5 of Cups. So this is someone who's going to be, they're not just going to be romantic in the beginning, because that could be the fear. It's like, oh, I've dealt with those people who were romantic in the very beginning, but then that sort of goes away. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1234 could be important. But these cups are in the upright, and see, and there's like little aquatic plants in these cups here, and that looks like little betta fish cups or something. So maybe something with like fish, betta fish, that is Piscean energy. We have the High Priestess, and we have all these cups here. We have the Tower clarifying the this is someone who, so let me finish that thought. This person is not just going to be romantic in the beginning. This is the 10 of Cups. This is the most love that you can give to somebody else outside of yourself. This is agape love. It's replenishing. It's like a spring. It keeps, and where are betta fish native to? Maybe something about where they're native to. I used to know, but it's kind of like low-lying marshes, but not dirty water. It's more like rivers, streams, creeks. I don't know. There's something about bodies of water. And the creek, I feel like somebody could be from the city and someone could be from, yeah, there's something about you two where it's like, we are from two different places here. But you're from the same spring. It's like when a spring comes up, it runs off into the river, and then the river runs into the ocean. A river runs through it. Is that with Brad Pitt? Sagittarius energy again. So that's very much temperance. Someone is tempering themselves. I get, they are like fortifying or forging. I said fortifying. Well, I was thinking fortifying, but then I said fortifying. So it's like that knight energy of someone who's going to stand up for you. This is a masculine who's going to protect you and protect this love. And there could be naysayers around them. But the Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. You both have the Seven of Pentacles. That's why this masculine knows. They recognize this feminine as their feminine. They know because they're like, oh, you're on the same path. When you're pursuing this, you may have come from different places. And, in the military, that is something that was always interesting, because we were all there in the same uniform, fighting for the same cause, right? And yet when we would go out on the weekends or whatever, everyone would be in their civvies, they would be in their civilian clothing, and it was just interesting and entertaining to see everybody's personal style. Some people were, grunge, goth, people would be cowboys, cowgirls, it's like they would put on their stuff and it's like, that's not necessarily what I thought you would look like. And that could be something that maybe you didn't think your person would look like that or whatever, but it's like, and maybe you work together. I mean, you're going to continue working together because you work together, play together. You're going to do everything together in this life once you come together. Together. Anyway, to gather. Something about gathering. You could work around nets or something. Maybe you cook food or have to wear like a hairnet, or there's something about fish nets possibly. Hard at work, huh? Which again, with like the cosplay, like fishnets, I think about, doing like the scales makeup, or somebody could work with makeup, or like special effects, or some sort of like, I feel like you guys work around the arts, but maybe not, you do different things in the arts, if you think about making a movie, there are so many moving factors there. There's a director, but then there's producers, and there's all these other influences. It's like anything, any project, collaborative project, there's all these different artistic perspectives. 1711 there, so that is like, this is your new year. This is your new year in love. So feminines, if there's any fear, masculines, if there's any concerns or worries about moving forward, if there's any sort of like lack mentality, any of that devil energy, we put that back, because not this year, Satan. Not this year. People say not today, not this year, Satan. Because it's like you're finally taking this leap of faith, not just toward this person, but toward yourself, toward your truth, toward something that you've always wanted to work on since childhood. This is a childhood dream. This is like something that was snuffed out in you when you were very young, because you wanted to do this, and people said, oh, that's too big a dream. Or do you know how few people actually make it in the acting or in the arts or whatever? It's like you're going to be struggling, so maybe you kind of played it safe and went into things that were lucrative, so you could pay the bills, or so that you could kind of pay homage to your parents because they worked so hard, so it could be something where you got into it, but not for yourself. And now you're getting into something, you're starting something, could be an entrepreneurship or whatever, and maybe you have to outsource or work with other people. But I feel like there's some sense of, there could be a uniform involved, or some sort of something where you both kind of like come out of your strange little worlds that you've created in isolation, possibly through your healing, through your shadow work. You've created these little worlds where it's like, yes, you are the most authentic to yourself. You wore the clothes, you maybe did your own like internal and external makeover and renovation in the space that you were in while you were doing this healing. Now it's like the universe is saying, it's time to get out of this. This is your new year. Everything is going to work out for you. These might be affirmations that you need to adopt, or like find the affirmation that is right for you to say, that gives you the confidence, the strength, the foolishness that it takes to take a leap of faith towards something that you're passionate about, that you love. It's like you're going to be doing the work that you love, and when you're doing that, your counterpart also is taking the initiative to take their leap of faith towards something they love. And it's like there is a lot of fear around that, but you're finding the courage to do it anyway. A lot of things could go wrong, but they're not going to. The universe is saying everything is going right for me. You know, my path is clear. Not today. Return to center. I was gonna say sender. Return to sender. I am having a hard time like getting my words together. But that's my own thing. But that could be somebody's holdback. You know, getting their words together. You know, I just saw something about from Game of Thrones where the big woman. There could be like a height difference or something, but it's like this masculine looks at this feminine like, oh, you are the one. But they're not just like putting you on a pedestal and leaving you there. They're like, oh, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make sure I can help that feminine up on that pedestal. I want to give them a boost up there. You know, they see the pedestal that you should be on. And feminines, maybe you've been holding yourself back. There's been some doubt. But it's like now this masculine has the courage to pursue their dreams because they've always seen you in their dreams, feminine. So now that they see you, it's like, oh, there's the missing piece to this puzzle, and now I can frame it. Something about framing a house. Yeah, somebody could be in like building. There's someone that I think works in a shop environment. And somebody could be going shopping. Because again, you could be renovating your house. And I just recently watched, again, I've seen it several times, but something new. So this could be interracial, but it's like she hires this landscape architect. They actually were set up on a blind date, and she rejects it because he's white, and she's like, I can't. So with this 8 of Pentacles and the 7 of Pentacles with this dragon here, I feel like there is like a fiery aspect. This feminine could have some strong fire placements, but it's like this masculine is coming with the Knight of Wands because they are not just with sexual energy, because there's all these Pentacles and Cups. So this is very yin, nurturing, wholesome, patient energy. Like it's this masculine. I don't think they're going to be, because in that movie he asks her like, oh, can you take your hair out? You know, I think she's got tracks in, and he's like, that's not your hair. And she was like, I can't believe you asked me that. You know, it's like he feels very intrusive, but yet she still invites him into her backyard to do this project or whatever. But he's kind of like, he's assertive, but then he leaves it in her hands. He puts the ball in her court. He's not hassling her. He's not hovering. He's not lingering. He's there because he is interested, and he kind of knows like she's a very strict, regimented person, and he's kind of like a little more go with the flow. And she's like, I can't do that. I don't hike. She doesn't do outdoors, and he does landscaping. So he's always into plants and all of that. So he's very outdoorsy, and she's not. So they have this very different thing, but it's like the more natural that she becomes, the more it's like she's more at ease with just being herself. And all of these conform parts of her, although impressive and beautiful and everything like that, like she's still looked at by men in the movie that are like, they want to be with her. Like she's a catch. It's kind of like how Stella got her groove back, you know. Winston, but it's like she gets out of her comfort zone. She's kind of with this Tower here in the Death card. It's like she's almost pushed out of her comfort zone by a friend, Whoopi Goldberg, who's like, girl, we're going, because she tries to back out of it. She's so regimented. You could be a single mother here, in the one, but yeah, I get this like kind of like clenched feminine energy, because look how she's like clutching her pearls. Oh my goodness. But then this masculine's coming in with the Knight of Wands, which is like this very fun ignition. Isn't that a song? Is that Usher? Ignition? Watch this. Yeah, I can't think of any of the lyrics, but maybe Ignition. I think it's by Usher. I'm pretty sure, but you never know. Where are we at? 25. I do want to see, just because we've got the Eight of Swords. This masculine wants to come in and kind of rescue this feminine from themselves, because it's like there's nobody else around them. This feminine is blocked by their own thoughts, their own rigidity, their own conformity. I feel like this feminine conformed to something else, and now it's like, they've gone through this sort of transformation with the Queen of Wands. It's like this, they've burned down this old idea, and this love might be the thing that helps you, or, well, I think it will help you along, but the first step toward that is going to be you. Like in something new, she gets a new house. It's like once you take a step toward a new thing in your life, whether that be work, whether that be your appearance, maybe you start losing weight, you start getting active or something like that. It's like once you take care of yourself and take this step toward something that is part of your dream, to be an independent person and all of that, it's going to line you up with this person, because I think that you'll work together in some aspect. They could hire you, you could hire them, or you could just be, volunteering, or again, with the uniforms, you could have to put on uniforms to go to work. So you kind of look the same, but then outside of that, you're completely different. So yeah, there's and this masculine is willing to make themselves available over and over. It's like, I'm not going anywhere. There's something very stable with these pentacles. There's something very stable and deep about this masculine, that they feel like this is a masculine with some feminine element placements, that they're able to even grasp the gravity. John Mayer. Gravity. Stay the hell away from me. It's funny, the feminine, I feel, is like, I'm not ready for this. And the masculine's like, I think you are, but I'm going to leave it up to you. And the ball's in your court. Here's my number. Here's my card. It's some sort of thing where it's like they see you. I was just thinking about Quentin Tarantino and Uma Thurman. Like, I would love for her to be in another one of his films or whatever. Although he's like not making any more films. Whatever. But yeah, if he does Kill Bill continued, or something, where I would just love to see Uma. I mean, I just like Uma Thurman, so I would like to see her in pretty much anything. The Truth About Cats and Dogs. And see, in that one, the one that's actually interested in the guy is using Uma as like a cover. There's some sort of like uniform or some sort of like buffer that's being put on, some sort of mask that's being put on. So I am getting like theater, the arts, something where there's like a collaborative artistic process, a lot of moving pieces that bring something together. And it's something that you're both going to be very proud of, as you should be. It is like your baby. This is your project. If you don't already have children, or if you don't want children, or if you can't have children, or if that's just not your plan to have more children with this person, it's like this world that you create is going to be like your baby. Because we have the Tower, Death, and the Four of Wands here. So that's that 11. So it's like once you lay to rest that rigidity, once you kind of soften a little bit, again, in these movies, their hair is like slicked back and they're very like, but then like when Stella goes to Jamaica, she gets braids put in and she's kind of like, all right, she cuts a little bit loose. For her, it's like a little step. Once you take a little step toward this this person will help you feel safe enough to do that completely, where you've never felt that kind of safety with somebody else, to really kind of be your fullest self. Your fullest self. Someone might have told you you were full of yourself, or that you're like on a high horse, you think you're better than us. Like if you are successful, or you do take care of your body, you know, you look good, maybe you go back home, you could come from like a obese family, or a family that's always sick or always complaining, or just like has a very low energy, and it's like maybe you're going back to visit them, or you did during the holidays, and you kind of experienced this that sort of broke you free from being like, well, why do I even care what they think? I don't want to do this job, it doesn't make me happy, or I don't want to look like this, it doesn't make me happy. You know, in something new, the mom is like, oh, your hair, that's your thing, that's your signature. She's like, it's not even my hair, you know, like it's not my thing. This is my thing. You know, and her natural hair is very beautiful. And she's, of course, I don't know her name, but she's in Blade. She's looked exactly the same her entire career since Love and Basketball until lately. Like she hasn't really changed that much. She looks kind of incredible. But that's the thing. It's like, your most authentic self is the most beautiful version of you. Like, yeah, you might work with makeup or things like that, but it's like there's nothing, you know, more beautiful than somebody who is authentically themselves, and they're just free, like a child. That's why being around children is so liberating, because it's like they're not worried about makeup. They don't care how they look. They're wearing freaking a princess dress or like a Superman, you know, cape or whatever, and their undies, and they're just like free running around. It's like, that's what we need to be doing, barefoot and free. And this person is really gonna help facilitate that. But there is something about 14, Pocahontas, the butterfly. Yeah, it's like chasing butterflies. What's that? Chasing shadows. Oh gosh, why am I not gonna remember her name now that I've only listened to her a million times? That might be the name of the song, Chasing Shadows. And it is, I thought it would come out. I want to say her artist name starts with Santagram. No, I'm thinking Fantagram. Santa Gold. A lot with gold here. Santa Gold. Santa. Something about Santa. Maybe somebody looks like Santa. Like, there's something about like that innocence of still believing in Santa. Like, still believing in this type of love feels like believing in the fucking Easter Bunny or something anymore, because so few people have this romantic capacity. But these sunflowers and the hummingbird, it's like, once you open up the flower, it's like the butterflies, the hummingbirds, all these probing. So there's something about like they're gonna ask a lot of questions, and you might be like very guarded or kind of irritated, like, why are you asking all these questions? They just want to get to know you, you know. And these are kind of things that a friend would ask, you know, but because you've been so jaded, or because your romantic heart and nature has been kind of scorned or crumbled up and discarded. I get like the scene from Take on Me where she crumbles up, and I'm thinking of the literal version where it's like, I'm gonna crumble this up and throw it in the trash or whatever. It's like sketchy hand look inside. If you haven't seen it, just look for the literal video for Take on Me. And they do another one, I think it's like Turn Around. They do one, oh, there it is, by Bonnie Tyler. They also do, anyway, the literal translation, but she like takes the waitress, holy shit, grabs the paper, crumbles it up and throws it in the trash or whatever, and it's like he's all getting crumbled because, you know, he's in this world of his own. He's in this like fantasy world. So there's something about like merging your fantasy worlds. It's this collaboration, and it's Take on Me. Come inside. There's like something of somebody's like come into my world, because my world is, I think that you would fit really well in my world, because you look like a fantasy to this person. You are their fantasy. They dreamed you up. The Seven of Pentacles, you are their dream. You are like the sun, the moon, the starlit sky, Val Kilmer, when he's professing his love to, and they're actually married in that. So it's like, yeah, you might, I mean, maybe something with acting, but it's like you're going to work together in this project. Like, you're still going to work in this fantasy world together. You both could like write something together. Together. We're better together. We're better together. Is that 28 Days with Sandra Bullock? Not the zombie one, not 28 Days Later, but 28 Days, where she goes to rehab and sees, she writes a little play or whatever for her friend. You know, it's which Santa Cruz. There's Santa Gold, Santa Cruz. I don't know where that plays in. The color red, white, something with Christmas. I am in the Christmas spirit right now for whatever reason. But it's like this sunflowers, it's like this person sees you as the sun. They will follow you anywhere. You will follow each other anywhere because you know that the other is not going to lead you astray. You can trust that where they're guiding you, where they're leading you, is closer to your truth. It's always going to be aligned with your truth because you speak the same truth. Maybe something with Klingon. I'm getting like Trekkies. Techies. You could be very techie. Someone could be quite artistic, and someone could be very analytical and scientific. You know, it's like, but somehow you've always had the same dream. And maybe you both will recognize each other because you've had the same dream about each other. But usually when the feminine dreams of their masculine, they dream of a feeling. Because what they're doing is they're alchemizing their masculine into their highest frequency. So it's not as much, it's all the 5D and the unseen. So it's not as much about how they look. Not to say that this masculine is only focused on how you look or anything, but they do like the way you look. But I feel like the masculines, when they dream of their counterpart, they dream in a very 3D way. So they maybe like can see, or there's like a smell or something. It's like a smell from a dream. They've always, or something about their childhood that's like activated by being around each other. So I think you'll know within the first conversation, the feminine might be a little bit more guarded or clutching their pearls, or kind of, but there's something that is going to, again, make you still, even if you have that guarded energy, you're still going to go, okay, well, I'm inviting you into my backyard, you know, like I'm still inviting you. You're not allowed inside yet, but you can kind of like, I'll let you kind of get a little bit closer. There's something about when you first meet, because there's an activation, there's a triggering of, and triggering sounds like such a negative word, but it's like when the gunshot goes off, the race is on, you know? So it's like things are in momentum, they are in motion the moment that you meet, I feel. And you'll look back and go, oh yeah, like I always knew it was going to be you. But it's not until the feminine feels it. It's not until the feminine feels it, and they may not be able to feel it because you're not intimate. You're not, together in an intimate or a private way. You might be around people. So they don't really, they see maybe a performative aspect of the masculine, or they see more of like a posturing, a gesturing, where they're not sure if they can really accept that as their authentic presentation. Or there might be a little bit of like a question, is it okay for me to want this? Because like in that something new, he's very attractive. She finds him attractive when he's out working in her yard. She's like looking at him and stuff. And there is like a friend there that's kind of, I think you have a friend in your space that's a little bit more free than you. It's like you've always been attracted to that in your friendships, and you've always been drawn to something that's a little bit more free than yourself, a little more open or relaxed than yourself. It's like you're surrounded by people that are like facets of your divine counterpart. So you should want all those same things if these are your friends or your family or people closest to you that you love and trust. Then you obviously want that with your counterpart. But it's like a flower for every day. Where did I just see that? And he gives her a calendar with flowers for every day. There's a process of wooing this feminine, I feel, that the masculine is going through, but it's not going to be like chasing. It's going to be pursuing. It's going to be like, I'm here, but I don't want to bring you stress. I'm only here to bring you peace of mind, to bring you calm. So if you feel a little bit challenged, that's one thing. If you feel like stressed, or like if you get that ick, there's no going back from the ick. You feel it and you're like, oh, no, that something about that just made me. This person might make you go, ugh, but they're not going to make you go, ugh. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like that might work for somebody. Yep, the Tower again and the feminine. It is going to be very challenging, but, and yeah, maybe your friends around you are going to be like, I've never seen you happier. You know, some people, like arranged marriages or whatever, if you really trust your parents, they should pick someone who's a really good partner for you. If you gave your friends if these are your friends that you truly trust and they have your best interest at heart, would you trust? Here's a question for you, collective. Would you trust your friends or family to choose your partner for you? Because there is like a blind date aspect, and this friend of hers, or it's a coworker, that lines her up with this blind date, and she doesn't even see the color. Like, she's not even thinking that. So when she describes him, she's not like, oh, he's white. She's just like, oh, he's an architect, he does this, he's tall, he's handsome, you know, and all those things are true. But then she meets him and she's like, how could you leave that out? And I also just saw a preview. It was a preview for another DVD that I was watching, but it was one of the trailers for it's Ashton Kutcher and Zoe, I can't think of her name because Deschanel is the only one that I've got, January 17th. 17 is important, which is 8. But anyway, that Zoe, oh gosh, what is her name? She's in that movie Center Stage. She's in a lot of movies. She's in the Star Trek franchise. But anyway, she talks about him to her parents, and so like his name's Simon, and so she explains him, and then she brings him home, and the dad thinks he's like the cab driver or something, you know, he's because he's white. So there is some aspect like that where it's like, if this love doesn't fit with the people around you, then maybe the people around you don't fit in your life. Because anyone who's going to cast judgment, especially in today's world, like, come on, get over it. Like, nobody is like, are there any pure races out there? Whatever that means. No, we're all just a fucking bunch of mishmash people, you know, like, I just feel like the collective should be elevating beyond the physical. And it's like everyone around these women in these movies. So I don't know about that one. I haven't seen that one. The one where like it's like a meet the parents thing. But I can't think. I don't know what the name is. But all the friends are like, I've never seen you look happier. You're glowing. You look amazing. Like, the people that actually care about you are going to support this because this is good. This is healthy. And this is definitely something. We had 4408 on the clock there. Which is like, they want the best for you, and they see that this is the best for you because this is the best you've ever looked. This is the most you've ever smiled. You're actually taking time for yourself because you're out of this like rigidity. You freed yourself from this self-imposed prison that's kept you in the dark from this light. All right. Hopefully there was something in here for you. And until next time, I wish you well.